I am Bruce Jordan. I'm a former IHG corporate and I manage over $1 billion in assets and $300 million in revenue. While Michael Jordan is to basketball, Bruce Jordan is the same to the hotel industry. My main goal is to make your hotel more money. And this is another episode of Hotel Management Do's and Don'ts.
Hey, you know who it is. It's Bruce Jordan, and you're tuned into another episode of Hotel Management Do's and Don'ts, where we take a look at the operations, the hotel, and decide for hotel managers and guests what is going on and is this the property for you. Now, I have to give this place a pat on the back because this place was ridiculously awesome. Just the whole architectural layout, whoever designed this place, like as far as like architectural wise, you need to be paying them double because they just did so much justice to this place. It's ridiculous. Like, this place has dual ocean views. So when you walk into your room, you have a ocean view that's like right outside your front door. And then when you go into your room on the balcony, you have another ocean view. So you have one view of the beach going out of your door, you have another view of the ocean, going out on the balcony. Like, that's just ridiculous. That's not something every hotel can do. So I have to commend the architect that designed this place. They did an incredible job. Now, I didn't find a whole lot of operational issues. Actually, this place has like one of the best well-tuned operations I've seen in a long time. Like, I haven't seen operational status like this, or maybe it may be better since Hyatt Regency. So let's get into it. Let's see what I found and let's do it. Now, one of the first key points I want to touch on is the revenue. I love the fact that they have $15 parking. I love the fact that they have multiple levels for pricing. So like something that doesn't have the best ocean view, they have that at a lower rate. Something that has a pretty decent ocean view, they're all like 1-2 bedroom suites, by the way. They have that at a higher price, at a $10 price. And then the one that has like the best view, they have like or has double beds with the best view, they have that like at an additional $10. So it goes standard price 10 and then 10. The fact that they're charging more rooms for double beds lets me know that they know what they're doing. Only thing I feel like they missed the boat on was the rooms that had higher floors. I feel like that's an upgrade to me. So I feel, me myself personally, I would have paid an additional $10 or $20 a night just to get a 9th floor room or a 10th floor room. I mean, the first thing I would have did is say, this is the view. I would have sent a text message, of course, for the upgrade. And I would say, this is your view at the 3rd floor, and this is your view at the 9th floor. You can capitalize on this. You can get this room for an extra $10, $20. With this place having this many rooms, you definitely want to capitalize on every opportunity that they have coming. Now, let's talk about breakfast. This place does not include free breakfast, and I don't expect it to, because everything that comes with it is already so nice. Why would they include free breakfast? Actually, I remember when I was working at an Indigo, they used to have free breakfast, and they canceled it. They said, we're not giving out free breakfast anymore. We're gonna have people pay for breakfast. It didn't slow down their reservations at all. It didn't slow down reservation, and they made more money. Now, the servers was upset because now people actually have to tip them out of their own pocket. So, they have to work a little bit extra. The tip isn't automatic. But other than that, everyone else, it didn't skip a beat. So the fact that this place does not offer free breakfast, I commend them for that. It's an amazing revenue source. The only thing I really didn't like is that I don't feel like they're capitalizing on the revenue on the breakfast as much as they need to. For instance, okay, you don't offer free breakfast, but you're not offering anything. Like, they're not sending any offers for breakfast. As soon as the guests check in, especially if you don't offer free breakfast, the first thing you want to sell them on is breakfast. So I should be getting a text message with a special just for Pacific guests. Another thing I should be getting, they should have a package that includes free breakfast for an additional $20, $30. Like and it's of course it's on the 9th and 10th floor. Hello. I mean, it's just simple little things that we're not taking advantage of revenue opportunities that we could change with one little tweak. Upgrade, you get a higher floor, breakfast is included, it's going to cost you additional $20, $30, $40. And the breakfast can be like a $10 or $15 breakfast per person or something like that. It can be really, really simple. They're not taking advantage of that. They're not texting the breakfast offer. Now, they do have opportunity for you to review the menus, but they don't have the menus inside of the room. You have to take your phone, do a QR code, and then look at a menu. The menu has no pictures of any of the food. Like, how do you sell breakfast with no pictures? Like, the first thing you go to Uber Eats or DoorDash, the first thing you see is pictures of the menu. Like, that looks good, I want that. Oh no, look at this one, I want that. Look at that macaroni and cheese, I want that. You can't do that here, so I feel like they're not selling the restaurant properly. I mean, if it was me, the first thing I would do is I have that breakfast offer just for hotel guests. Breakfast is $10, $15 per person, nice little picture. And then my higher price items, I will have pictures so they can see what they're paying for. So if you have a $30 menu item or a $40 menu item, those are the items that you want pictures of, because you have to sell the presentation more. So that's one thing that I really didn't like. I feel like they wasn't engaging the guests enough to get them down to the restaurant. And when you do that, the first thing people start doing is they start looking outside of your restaurant to eat. So you're going to let somebody go someplace else and pay someone else money that you should be getting yourself. It makes no sense. The other thing is they also have a little Starbucks cafe where they have coffees and pastries and stuff like that. That's cool. Now, mind you, you're talking to a former F&B controller that used to manage the finances for 5 outlets. I had 5 outlets, and that's including catering and events. I was at a hotel where Johnson & Johnson used to hold their shareholders meeting there. So we did about $8 million in revenue a year at that particular property. I mean, this stuff is not rocket science. I do understand that they're in the middle of the pandemic and they have all of that stuff going on, but you have to capitalize. This is where you need that revenue more. This is where you have to become more creative as far as getting people down there to spend your money. The next thing about breakfast, you're like, okay, a $10, $15 breakfast is kind of low. That's cool. If the price is kind of low, I'm not trying to make $100, on the first hit. I'm just trying to get them down there so the server can upsell them on different items. You don't want to miss that opportunity. I'd rather have someone down there at a lower price to give me an opportunity to increase the average check, to have the servers make it sell, versus just not having the business at all and letting them go outside of this hotel to go eat. No, keep them here. You want them to go from here to the room, to the restaurant, to the beach, no place else. Keep all the money in-house. Let the other restaurants worry about themselves. Let the other restaurants get the locals. You need to get this business. Now, due to the fact that the restaurant is underperforming in my eyes, especially since we're in the middle of the pandemic, to keep the kitchen busy, I would even consider putting this place on Uber Eats or DoorDash or Grubhub, whatever you name it. They could come pick it up, get it delivered, done deal. What people don't realize, and a lot of owners and GMs have this problem, is that they believe that the restaurant is a part of the hotel instead of the hotel being a part of the restaurant. You have to separate your entities. You can't see the restaurant as a cost. If it wins, it wins. If it loses, it loses. No. If you have a restaurant, just like any restaurant owner, it's here to win. If that restaurant down the street, they don't have that option. They can't say, hey, I got a hotel that'll cover my losses. No, you have to be in a restaurant business to win. Stop trying to say that the restaurant is just a convenience for the guests. It's not. If that dude down the street or up the street is making money and capitalizing and making a profit in this pandemic, so should your restaurant. Now, this hotel, of course, have quite a few employees. I have one employee that I have to give Air Jordan to, and that employee name is Lisa. Lisa was flirting with me the whole time that I was here. So, Lisa, stop flirting. And this is Lisa. Now, One thing I could say about this place is very spacious. It has a bunch of meeting rooms. It has a nice little piano. I just don't see the group business. I guess it was, it was doing a lot of group business before, and I guess it slowed down during the pandemic. What we have to realize, and a lot of people don't, is that the group business is not going to be back for quite some time. And the only group business that you have right now that I seen work during this pandemic is influencers. Influencers are the new group business. One of the websites that you can reach out to is actually an app. It's called Collab Space, where you can collab with influencers. Now you have to have 30 subscribers just to collab with them, by the way. But you could collab with other influencers, that have a large following. Let's say, 25,000 followers on Instagram. There's different ways to gauge their following and see their activity. So they'll have 25,000 followers, but they only have 100 active engagements. Those are things that you have to look out for when you're influencer shopping. So influencers is the new group sales. Start looking into that. It is going to be the future. Now, the room design was traditional. I love the layout. I feel like the pictures online did not do this place any justice because it's 10 times more beautiful than that. Only thing I really didn't like was the carpet. The carpet was a lighter color than what I'm used to, and if it stains or anything like that, it's going to be maintenance is going to want to smack somebody's mama. All right, so we don't want maintenance being mad and upset and over aggressive, trying to replace that carpet or trying to get stains out. Me, myself personally, I probably would have went with something a little bit darker and probably would have took the orange colors out of the carpet because I didn't see anything inside of the room that was orange anyway, not even the curtains. So there's nothing to offset it. But as you know, I suck at design. I know absolutely nothing about design. Inside of my house, I have these well-designed, beautiful white walls. So don't take my advice on that one. Now, besides the beach, this place has plenty of fun activities to do. I mean, hell, you don't even want to leave your room, but if you do want to leave your room, there's other places that you can go. Like you could go jet skiing, they have windsurfing, looks like they have some boating, and hey, I'll bring my fishing pole, go fishing, and put it inside the pool or something. But that's just me. So there's like a lot of activities that you can do. One thing I love is the pool area. Unfortunately, the jacuzzi is at the time of this tape, the jacuzzi looks like it's out of order. I'm not sure if they're painting it or repairing it or something of that nature. But as soon as they get that back up and running, that's going to be another thing that's just going to hit the spot. The layout and the pool design was ridiculous. Like I love the view. Like I'm looking down at the ocean and then I'm looking at the pool. This place was Clearwater. The weather was beautiful. At least at this time, it wasn't raining. So, this place, I had a lot of fun. And, like I said, it's so beautiful, you don't even want to leave the room. But there were a couple of issues that I found, and here they are. So for this place to be a Marriott property, I don't know who chose the soap and the lotion, but man, they don't smell very good. It has a really strong, harsh, like Supermanish smell. Like it's not something that a woman will want to wear. I mean, men, particularly myself, I don't really care. The smell will go away with in a couple hours. But a woman will probably find that smell of the lotions and the soaps a little offensive. It's like putting Old Spice on a woman. It's just something that you just don't do. Or maybe you want to do. Now, the other thing that, this was the only one real issue that I actually found. I was surprised to even find that. There was just like some stains on the curtains. I guess there was an ink stain. Just so you know that the curtains have to be fire deterrent. So it's really difficult to wash fire deterrent curtains. You can't use heat, of course. It'll just melt the curtain. So it has to be when you wash them, it has to be a cold, gentle cycle. It's even more difficult to get stains out of curtains like this. And these curtains are not cheap. You're talking about curtains that, probably cost $500, $600, $700. At one of my other properties, like these type of curtains that they have, mine was a little smaller and shorter, but those curtains cost, $200, a pop. So replacing them, I get it, and wash them is even a bigger headache. So just to be on the lookout for, you can't really machine wash those curtains, And if you do, it's going to be a cold, tumble dry, low premium press, whatever you want to call it. But try to keep them away from a really hard cycle. Like I had to have the Ecolab guy or the detergent guy come out and program a cycle just for those curtains, because I will throw them in there and I will have something that I just couldn't use anymore. So keep that in mind. So as far as the operation score, this is one of the best operations I've seen in a long time. So for operations, I'm gonna have to give this place a 9.5. Very good job. You deserve it. And this is, for me, I was a little upset that I couldn't find anything wrong. I'm like, there's gotta be something wrong. I'm looking everywhere. I can't find nothing wrong with them curtains. That's the only thing I could find. So very good job. You got a 9.5 for our operation score. So the breakfast score, I'm going to give a 7.5. I felt like they could have marketed breakfast better. They could have had a rate for an upgrade to include breakfast for two, an additional to the higher floor with the dual ocean view. Like I said, one view is the beach view, the other view is the ocean view. Breakfast could have been included inside of a rate like that for an upgrade. The other thing is that, like I said before, I never got a breakfast offer. Nobody sent me a text message and say, hey, you could get breakfast at this rate or at this price, and here's the menu. Instead, I had to scan a QR code and look at a menu with no pictures, so I have no idea what the food even looks like. So I have no idea what I'm getting. So you just want to be a little bit more perceptive when it comes to the guest experience. If you send a guest through too many steps, they're just not going to do it. Why would I do all of this stuff when I could just go to Uber Eats on my app and say, okay, boom, this is what that food looks like, this is what that food looks like, this is how much it costs, so on and so forth, done deal. So I feel like they're losing on that end, and they need to capitalize more on the revenue aspect of breakfast. And finally, we have the revenue score. Now for the revenue score, I have to give this place an 8.0. I love the way they structured their rates, and they manage their different room types, pricing them just right. Like I said, only thing I feel like they missed a boat on was really the upgrade packages. Like I don't feel like the upgrade packages was validated. So for revenue, they definitely deserve the 8.0. This place is doing a great job. I don't expect anything less from a Marriott, especially having such a beautiful property. They're definitely doing some things right. But as usual, we gotta do what we gotta do. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We gotta be a little bit more creative in our approach and our process to extract all the revenue we can from the guests, as well as improving the guest experience. Their first improvement should be getting rid of that lotion and soap. Oh, I smell like a pro wrestler. Again, good job, Marriott. Very proud of you. And thank you again for tuning into another episode of Hotel Management Do's and Don'ts, and joining us again. And we'll be talking to you soon, making your revenues rise up once again.